The thing's called the Concerto for Beatboxer or an Orchestra, and I think a lot of people will hear that and they'll just think that it's some kind of novelty and it's just some kind of light entertainment. But it really, from my point of view, that is not where we're heading with it at all. I want to make music. Hopefully, by the end of it, that's what people will be saying. If people come away from the performance saying, I enjoyed that music, then I think we'll have achieved what we set out to do.
I knew absolutely nothing about beatboxing till I was invited to come along and watch the film of the beatbox choir. I think I'd heard Bjork's Medulla album and thought, oh, that's quite cool, all done with a voice. I wonder how they did that. I'm really proud of my compositional voice and the kind of integrity I managed to keep in my pieces, and trying to keep something that's very much me and how I write through these pieces. So with this piece, that's what I feel will in some ways be my main challenge, is to keep something really strong and identifiable through it.
So working with a composer is going to be so different because everything has to be worked out in advance, which is extremely daunting for me because I'm used to just relying on my sense of the moment.
You know, I've worked with all the orchestral instruments and I've been working with electronics, but here's something that's just a pre-existing human force. I'm always also really looking for ways to challenge myself, and I've not just necessarily gone down the usual classical composer route of just writing for orchestras. I've always wanted to think about being big or being loud, and about finding ways of incorporating my own interest in a range of music.
A really inspired way of performing is to kind of unite two different approaches to making music and join the inspiration together and then create music together. It's just fun.
And recently I saw Shlomo with Polar Bear, and that was really interesting as well because it put Shlomo in a more ensemble context, which in the context of this piece is really exciting for me because I started to think about how we could use Shlomo in the context of an orchestra, how he could infiltrate an ensemble. It was really great to start to think about different ways of using him that weren't just about laying down a beat. I think I'll be able to really sort of explore the idea of momentum and rhythm, really push it further than I've ever been able to do in other pieces.
To really genuinely explore what can be done, to really get to the bottom of what can be done with the voice and with beatboxing, you've got to go back to the most, the age-old tradition, which is an orchestra. It's really impossible to say what it's going to be like or how it's going to work until we do it.
Developing the notation for this project is one of the things I'm really excited about and a bit daunted about because it doesn't exist. Initially I thought it might be using sort of normal drum notation, but I'm starting to get an idea of the variety of sounds, and there's so much more. Shlomo can do so much more than I initially thought. Oh right, just drum beats, but actually I'm now starting to see there's a whole arsenal of stuff.
It's going to be too much fun. I'm not going to want to do any real work. Without kind of distilling classical music and making it like a sellout pop culture, which is not what I'm interested in at all, this could be a way of making it credible to the kids and making it enjoyable for the classical audience. So it's like, it could be perfect, bringing people together.